Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Non-Classics. This is episode number 275 and Doubleshot number 206. And I was thinking, what could I possibly review for my 275th episode? Well, why not review a controversial series? Yes, Red Hood and the Outlaws, Volume 1 and 2. One is called Redemption, or Redemption. Volume 2 is called The Starfire. These two trades combined collect the first 14 issues of the series. Yeah. Someone has messaged me on Facebook. I don't know who it is. Oh, I'll take care of it later. Now, somebody thinking, why am I reviewing this series for? Because everyone knows how controversial this series is because of how they depict Starfire and Arsenal. Well, here's the thing. Why not? You see, my personal opinion about this series is that there is some good positive stuff of all the crap that this series has. For example, anybody who reads the series can agree that Jason Todd is the best written character of the whole series. Roy Harper is written like to be a whiny character from the 90s, and Starfire is written to be a slut. I mean, yeah, she was sort of a sex pot before, but not as much as she was here. Oh no. Basically, the controversy that arose from issue 1 came out of this series, which the cover for this trade is basically from, was that it was the context of how she was depicted that really drove people crazy. Of how whenever she slept people, she has sex with people, just try to, and half the time she forgets about them. And also, I should point out that this trade does something completely strange. Now, somebody thinking that Volume 1 should do issue 1 first. Oh no! This trade actually puts issue 6 first. And here's the thing about issue 6. Issue 6 takes place 1 month before the events of issue 1. Now, obviously, oh yeah, and one of the other problems with Harper, besides being very whiny, the guy wears a stupid trucker hat. Now, if you read the Red Hood Arsenal series, all 13 issues, he only puts on that hat. He only puts on a trucker hat maybe twice in 13 issues. Yeah, and he wears maybe a couple pages most of the time. Now in issue 6 does explain how Jason Todd got his current costume. Yeah, and of course Starfire is depicted. If you want a good look at her full costume, and there is a panel for this. This is Starfire's costume. Now, she's worn revealing outfits before, but this is just bizarre. I don't have a problem with the bottom half of it. I mean, yeah, that's how normally it's depicted. But she just has a top half covering her shoulders. You have two things which, from what I can tell, are connected to the back, but all they do is cover up her nipples. That is it. And she wears these knee-high boots, which is fine, and the gauntlet's perfectly fine. Luckily enough, the Starfire series had her stop wearing this ridiculous outfit. Oh, in case you're wondering, she wears this outfit the whole time Scott Lobdell was the writer for this book. And basically, in this particular trade, the main villain is a woman named Miss Susie Q, a overweight woman who is an old enemy of Jason Todd, and it's all about going after. And one of their villains is the Untitled, which it's not really explained all that well. And there's this mysterious woman who only Jason can see. No, she's not appearing. She doesn't appear that much in here. Let's see. What's a good picture of her? Here we go. Right here. This is Essence. A woman who only shows up whenever Scott Lobdell is writing the book. Now, after Scott Lobdell stopped writing the book with issue 18, she stopped showing up. And she didn't show up again until toward the end of the series when Scott Lobdell came back on the book. Now, basically, one thing I can give credit for this particular trade, and of course the majority of the series, it does have good artwork. Yes, the artwork is actually pretty nice. And of course Jason Todd is really, really well, and the villain's okay. Though the villain, Susie Q, does come back for the Red Hood Arsenal series in order to die again. Yeah, she gets killed off in here, then she comes back in that series in order to die for a second time. It's like, what was the whole point of this character? Oh, in case you wonder what the heck this character looks like, yeah, she shows up in issue 2. Let's see here. Where is she? Here she is. This is Miss Susie. Yeah, this woman is an enemy of Jason Todd. Where after this one issue, she's in a coma for 2 issues, comes back at the end of the trade, and she gets killed off, and then she dies. And she's dead. She stays dead for about, 2 years at most. 2-3 years tops. Then she comes back in the Arsenal series. Then she gets killed by Jason Todd again. Yep. The story in here just okay. But if you want to check it out, go ahead. I give this book an 8 out of 10. I mean, it's a bit lower than I usually do. Usually I give trades like 9 out of 10, but because of the controversy, it's the only reason why I give it 8. This one is actually a little bit better, because they toned down the sexual stuff in here that they had very heavily in the first volume. Oh, and Jason Todd, this woman who he's with. Oh, I love this cover. We're very sci-fi, very movie poster-esque, and it's better than this. This is not that good of a cover, even for issue 1. The covers are generally okay, but this I love this cover. Like, this is what you would see for an action movie poster, or maybe even a sci-fi one. And yes, Starfire wears that in here. And also, this trade, well, during the course of the issues in here, you have the first post-Flashpoint appearance of Blackfire, Starfire's sister, and you also get her backstory. 8 issues, and plus also you have a Night of the Owls tie-in, which is, it's actually a pretty good tie-in. It's just the Outlaws going after Mr. Freeze, which some of you who do not know what Mr. Freeze looks like in the current continuity. Let's see, what's a good picture of him? Let's see, I'm trying to find a good picture of this guy. Yeah, he's drawn very weirdly in here. Let's see. I want to get a good picture of him. Here we go. Yeah, this is what Mr. Freeze looks like in here, and this is what he generally This is how he generally is depicted in a lot of the other books. Yeah, and despite the fact being a Night of the Owls tie-in, it has no talents. Surprisingly, yeah. Pretty much of all the tie-ins I've read for Night of the Owls, Raven the Outlaws has no talents showing up in it. It's just them versus Mr. Freeze, who was a character that the Court of Owls was going after. Okay, and this woman, Isabel, who was in here, she actually first showed up at the end of that previous trade, but this is what she looks like. She's basically in this for the first year of the series, let's say. She's Jason Todd's girlfriend. Yep. And she dies at the end of the trade, leading into what goes on with death of the family. And of course, he is set up. Yeah, he's actually framed for this woman's death. I'm not kidding. I have no problem with the character at all. The character was written actually pretty decently. Now, Liddell does not have a good history of how he writes women that well when it comes to writing comic books. But this woman, I don't have a problem with it. It's actually pretty decent. She actually is depicted as someone who cares about her boyfriend. And her death is unexpected in here. I'm not going to show how she dies. But I will show the artwork. Kenneth Rockefort is still the artist in here. He was the original artist when the series started. Now there are other artists. You have Timothy Green II, Pascal Axel, actually, and Aro Anitio. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. And I will show what Blackfire herself actually does look like in here. Now, one way to tell the difference between the two of them is that Starfire has got red hair and Blackfire has black hair. Let's see here. I know she shows me. Oh yeah, and the Gordanians. Yeah, the people who were involved with Starfire, like in her backstory before she arrived on Earth. Yep, she actually is still sold into slavery, and she does run into the Gordanians in here. Though they're toned down a bit. Now, this is how Blackfire is depicted in the current continuity. Yes, this woman is Blackfire, Starfire's sister. Yeah, she shows up a few times over the course of the series. She showed up even an issue of Superman. But she didn't show up in the Starfire series for some reason. Yeah. But when you read this trade, when you get past all the controversial stuff that the first trade did, this one is actually an improvement from the first trade, definitely. And I enjoyed the character Isabel. It's just sad to see the character die at the end of the trade. So, storytelling is okay, and oh yeah, and the Starfire, that's the name of their spaceship. Apparently that's actually how they get around. Okay. Yeah, and they go into space in here. Alright. Fine. Since this book is an improvement, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Alright, stay tuned for the next episode when I get a chance to do it, which hopefully will be episode 276 and Doubleshot number 207. Yeah, 207. But until then, see you there. Bye.